afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my co-host Judy Loge of Veronique Arsenault, and we have another great show lined up for you guys this week. Just around the corner, if you haven't noticed, everybody's we're all color coordinated today and all set. Valentine's Day is coming up this weekend.
Hard to believe.
Look forward to. I know. That would take us to the middle of February.
It's not.
I have to get the chocolate out of my mouth before I speak.
Good. We do have a dish of candy, so we will apologize if we cannot control ourselves.
All of a sudden in the middle, I'm just going to break one out.
Empty dish halfway through.
Yeah. No, I know. Every time we come back from commercial, you'll notice the dish will be less and less.
And you were saying Valentine's Day for some, they just don't get into it at all. They don't like the holiday. They don't remember the holiday. They don't want to just.
They actually outright on Facebook. I've already seen a couple of little posts about. And they're bashing Valentine's Day or bashing those who are into it.
Okay, they can bash me all they want. I'm into it. Can't wait.
No, exactly. That's just it. So, but I don't want to judge anybody wherever they are in their situation, kind of thing, and feel the need to express themselves.
Exactly. Feel
That's
free.
what they're doing.
That's what I'm going to be free.
That's what Valentine's Day is for, to express yourself.
Well,
right?
Exactly. And I'm not a huge fan, I'll be honest.
No.
I'm not a huge fan of Valentine's Day, only because I think there's so much pressure. I felt the same when I was in a relationship and when I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that there's just so much pressure
on the guy.
Yeah.
On the
typically,
guy. I think
More
it's
on
good
the
for
guy.
the guy
Typically.
to be pressured.
Yeah. Once a year. Once or twice a year.
I get it, but it's not been a huge deal for me.
You're too nice, Veronique.
Well, I'm going to start off. It's my turnaround for the quote of the week. And I went through quite a few of them related to Valentine's Day or something along that line. Love and the heart and all of those good things. And I came across one from Helen Keller. And her quote is, I'm going to slip my glasses on. It's hard enough to read my own writing, but I have to put my glasses on. The best and the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. And that couldn't be more true.
Love is in the air then.
Love is very much in the air.
It's all around and we can't touch it, especially when it's there.
No, that's just it. Love, caring, affection, you know what I mean? Whether it's a significant other, your children, your parents.
The looks you share with
all
loved ones.
Of that.
All you have to do is look at somebody and know that
exactly.
you're bonding or connecting in an emotional way.
No, that's just it.
But let's have some fun. Let's I want to pretend
Here we go.
Let's do a
we're going to do our scenarios now for Valentine's Day.
Because this is a fun show. Okay.
Yes, you had some scenarios and questions that you wanted to touch on with Valentine's Day.
Yes. All right. The bashers are not going to let me down. All right. Pretend that you've never had a significant other, and I do love my husband more than anybody in the world except my children and my parents and my family. But pretend he's not in the universe.
Yes.
So, and your husband is not in the universe. Okay, so they don't exist.
Okay.
I've never met him. No, even though you love him to death. Right now you don't know him.
You don't know.
Who would be your dream date? Anyone besides, you can't mention your husband because he is your dream, but besides him.
I would have to pick, and I know a lot of people might not know who this is, but he's a country singer, Chuck Wicks, who actually sang a number of great songs, Cinderella, but my favorite one is Hold That Thought. Okay. And the video itself, he has the dark hair and the green eyes, and just talking to his significant other, saying, just wait until I get home. Hold that thought, kind of deal. But it's a really good. So you're he's my dream date.
He is, as far as his music appeals to you, and his
look.
It's his look. Just his look. He doesn't.
He can see it in her eyes.
He doesn't open his mouth.
He can. I've watched that video when it came out, and I've seen it. It was on my phone for the longest time. I would repeatedly. As a grown woman, I was watching it. I'm not talking about when I was little.
No.
This is recent
today.
Last night, Veronique, your turn.
Well,
who's the man?
I have a couple.
Okay, let's go with two.
She gets to pick more than one.
I do, because I'm just that fabulous.
Spread the love.
Yeah, Channing Tatum.
Okay, I will fight you for him.
He's a lovely looking little fella.
Yes, he is.
Lovely looking little fella.
No build on him though.
No, nothing. And I think it's his dance moves to be honest.
I think
and
so too.
And he's funny. He's funny as heck. Actually, I find him really cute. His personality cute. But my other, if Channing were busy,
Yes,
if he was busy,
if he were busy, yes, I would share. Gerard Butler is the other one.
Really?
Oh, he floats my boat.
He does.
He does. He floats. And look, I'm all raspy.
She's getting old.
I'll tell everybody at home I'm actually quite sick. And I've got a cold.
And I will have it tomorrow,
no,
maybe.
I promise not to share. I promise not to share in my bubble. But I'm not all raspy because I'm talking about Gerard Butler. But Gerard Butler.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know who I love? And don't laugh at me, and viewers don't throw any comments out there. I love Chris Noth, Mr. Big.
Really?
Yes, I do.
He
From Sex and the City.
Really?
Yes,
really?
I do. He's all man, and he looks after his woman.
Yeah, okay.
He's a protector. He's big. He's intense.
You mean the character he plays on that
Chris
show?
Noth is the actual.
Okay.
Chris Noth is his
Big,
name, and I just love him.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I can see the appeal.
And he has a beautiful younger wife too, so she finds him appealing. But just something about the way he looks after her, and he's rugged.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So where would you go with this, Chuck? If you had a dream destination, a dream date, anywhere?
For me, a romantic dinner for sure. But for me, I'd want it to be outside on the beach.
Beach?
Sunset.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That to me would be romantic. Music.
Chucky Wicks music.
It wouldn't have to be country music. It wouldn't have to be, but that is my forte.
But he
for
could
sure.
sing to you, and that would
nice
be okay.
wine, a beautiful wine, and for me, steak is
we
my.
think alike.
Okay.
It definitely would be what I would consider to be a romantic dinner. Plus, I think you could actually sit down and consume that without it being having too much trouble and looking,
Yeah.
Veronique, where are you going to take this lovely Channing?
Well, you know what? I'd actually, to be honest, I would like to stay home.
Oh my God!
No, wait. Come back to me now.
You already do that.
I know, but cook dinner together.
Oh yes.
Cook dinner together. Yeah, you got the music on, you got the lights down low, you got
Channing Tatum.
Yes,
with
all
his
good.
moves,
with his moves, all good, and drinking a glass of wine or whatever, and cooking supper together.
I think that's really nice.
Now, my preference would be to eat spaghetti, but it's not good on a taste.
No,
it's not pretty.
No, but that would be my real food.
Stay home and cook spaghetti.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm way off from you
where
girls.
okay.
I want to go to a remote cabin. I want to be so remote that
with
nobody
the flies and the bugs and
with Mr. Big.
Oh my land!
And he could be wearing a big skidoo suit or something. I don't care what he wears, but we're going up to a remote cabin, probably in the Rocky Mountains.
Okay.
And we're going to have a fire on, so it could be the fall or the winter.
Okay.
And I want a seafood chowder, big hearty seafood chowder, and maybe steak later.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Little
Mr.
surf
Big.
and turf.
And Mr. Big to cuddle with.
Yeah, I follow you.
And I want a bottle of the best wine, like a Cheval Blanc 1947, $135,000 a bottle. But
sure.
But we would share it.
Go big or stay home.
And he can afford it.
He can. He's just a rugged man. But I love my husband to death, and if he wasn't available, I would have my husband there instead for sure.
Well, if I had to choose a second one, he just came to mind, and I just recently watched an old movie of his with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, really?
Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
But remember the movie that he did with Demi Moore, Ghost,
Yeah.
and the pottery,
He's very
and
romantic,
he
there's no
is.
question.
He's
He's
romantic.
the most gorgeous man in the entire world ever, even though he's almost like he's over the hill beyond now. But I thought Robert Redford was the dream, guy of all dream guys. Oh my goodness!
No. Sean Connery would have been more.
Okay,
my style.
Robert Redford was mine.
Okay, my list just got longer.
But Billy,
adding all of
Gerard,
them.
and Veronique's man that we're not talking about today because he's going to be getting ready for a date. We can't
To
share
be
that.
announced.
Is
That's
to be
right.
announced.
To be announced.
To be determined.
What's your favorite love song? We're speaking of Valentine's Day, and your favorite all-time romantic song. Do you have one?
I don't know.
Do you have one?
I'm still stuck
We've
with.
lost that loving feeling.
Who's that by?
Percy Sledge, is it? No.
Right. Yeah.
I just remember it from the movie Top Gun.
Yeah, that I love it. Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Mine
one's a good
is
one.
Steve Tyler. Don't want to miss a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
a good
another
one.
good one.
That's beautiful.
There's a lot. I
don't
can't
have
say
one?
that there's one that I absolutely love because I love music.
Three
Period.
Times the Lady by the Commodores is very romantic too.
Yeah.
Good too.
Once,
No.
twice, three times the lady.
Yeah.
No, and I'm trying to think of someone who did really romantic songs. Not necessarily a love song, but get you in the mood
Who's that
song.
Barry White that
Yes,
sings like that?
yeah.
What's he sing? He's like, still in the air. He's really got it going on.
Go, Judy.
No.
Go, Judy.
So did you know Zsa Gabor, Zsa turned 99 years old?
Incredible.
99 years old.
Amazing.
She's been married 9 times.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah, she
really?
has.
Giddy up for her.
Do you think?
Giddy up for her.
I
Nine
wouldn't be
times.
proud of myself if I was married 9 times.
Well, she's 99.
I know. And she would love to have more, but there's no time left. But she has married Conrad Hilton, who owns the hotel chain.
Yeah.
That was one of her loves.
Oh, really?
And she's really, really funny.
Well, she's famous in her own right, isn't
Yeah.
she?
She was Miss Hungary in 1936. She's a beauty. And she loves men. What can you say?
She and her sister were probably the first kind of Kardashians of
Yes,
their
they
time.
were. Eva.
That's right,
Yeah,
too.
And
they
the other
were
one.
they were famous for being them.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, but I found them much more interesting.
I love her. And she always said, darling. Like,
Yes.
knock,
Yes.
knock, Audrey. Knock, knock.
Hello.
No, who's there?
Oh, who's that?
Hello. That's Adele. That's Adele.
Get with the program, Audrey.
Okay, knock, knock. Veronique.
Who's there?
Ivan.
Ivan who?
I want to hold you in my arms and love you, darling. That's Zasha. That's Zasha.
I will let you.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's what she does.
Oh, my
She
goodness.
says, I love being a housekeeper. Every time I leave a man, I keep the house. Okay, enough of that.
Words
my
to live
favorite.
by. I'm going to have to pick up one of her quotes for
I know,
next week.
it's
Oh,
true.
she has lots of them.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm gonna have to live my life. by
Moving
hers.
on. Other things that happened this weekend. The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big deal last night, even though
Yep. Carolina.
I couldn't stay up for the whole thing kind of deal.
Carolina Panthers lost 10,
Yeah,
and the
Colorado.
Denver Broncos won 24.
The Broncos won.
They
yeah.
Stole the show last night.
Yeah, pretty much.
Of course,
I didn't
Cam
stay up for the
Newton.
whole
Did you
thing.
watch it, Veronique?
No, a part of it, but I know Manning, had a superior performance. So really, giddy up.
And they're kind of putting the nails to Cam Newton, although he wasn't. He just felt that I think he was doing his part, and he tried really hard, but it was his teammates. I don't think they were there last night. I don't think they were with him. So they were watching him big time. I think he was
Yeah.
overwhelmed at the very end.
Well, you have to imagine. I mean, that kind of a sports event. I mean, it's watched by millions.
Yeah.
You there's tens of thousands of people there.
Yep.
The build up to it has to be. The pressure has to be astounding.
They had 4
Exactly.
big drop zones. 3 of them were critical, so
Yeah.
that kind of wrecked
And that's
them.
what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Poor
No,
soul.
that's just it. For me, I'd have to. I watch the Super Bowl if I watch it and manage to stay up for it. It's for all the other stuff,
Halftime.
the commercials, the halftime show. Lady Gaga started off.
Wow.
With the anthem.
Amazing. And Marley Matlin did the
did.
signing.
Yes.
Yeah.
She wore this red glitter outfit with the matching eyeshadow, and the rest of her makeup actually it was a sense of normalcy except for the
Yes,
the
it
red.
was. She was toned down.
And she did an amazing,
Oh.
Well,
amazing
she's so powerful.
job.
Anyway. She really
Voice.
is.
She
Yeah.
did.
No, I thought it was outstanding myself. She hit every note just as a
Fantastic.
star should, and she's really
Yeah.
gifted.
Yeah.
I was proud of
And
her.
Beyonce dancing on stage,
Well, and
just
I-
kicking it up,
I enjoyed the halftime show. I thought, I'm not a huge fan of Coldplay.
Neither
I'm not
am I.
a huge fan of Coldplay, but I thought it was well done last night. And then with Bruno Mars, and then
I was gonna say,
the mashup at the end.
Yeah.
What I most particularly love about those big sporting events is that they typically bring in, children to perform
I
and
know.
marching
They
bands.
do, yeah.
And what a great experience.
The
for them.
violinist during Coldplay, they were something
I
else.
think that's such an experience for them to be able to have
Yeah.
and
I
hang
know.
on to. So that's why I love those kinds of shows. But actually, I thought it was pretty good, even though Coldplay's not my favorite
Me
band.
neither.
I thought it was pretty good.
no.
Did you think Bruno Mars, did you see the resemblance to Michael Jackson in his movement?
Yeah, I
And
did.
could you see
Yeah.
him playing the role?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
For
thought
sure.
he was, I love his music anyway.
Yeah.
too.
He has some really romantic songs too.
Yeah.
The other thing that other people were watching too during the Super Bowl was the commercials.
Always.
Of course.
Insane.
The Doritos commercial is going to have to be one of my
Ultrasound
favorites.
one?
The ultrasound one, yeah.
I
where
felt
the
like I was
baby-
in that. No, that's sort of like a scenario I went through.
No, he's sitting there eating Doritos while she's having the ultrasound and notices that the baby's moving along with him, moving the chip, and then she throws it on the floor.
And out comes the baby. It was pretty witty.
It was
you have to
clever.
say.
It was clever. I would have to say it was
And
a
Ryan
clever
Reynolds
commercial.
in Ryanville for the Hyundai Elantra. Everywhere the women go in their car, they see Ryan Reynolds. He's either doing something like in a construction way, or he's biking along, or he's walking his dogs. It's called Ryanville. And
I'd be okay with that.
Oh my gosh, he's sweet. And then the cop stops him and he says, "What do you mean? Don't I get a warning?" He said, "Yeah, here it comes, your ticket." I'm warning you, you're getting a fine.
Oh, for goodness sake.
But it was cute.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is good too. He'd fit into my dream date. I'd be all right with that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Clean cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
But here's to my husband for Valentine's Day. Thank you, honey, for everything you give me, and I love you over Mr. Big.
Right now.
She had to put that in there for sure.
I mean it.
If you couldn't miss anything. No.
That's right.
Unfortunately, there was something that happened that wasn't too pleasant over the weekend.
Sad,
on Friday in Calgary. Probably a number of people have already read the story of the twins who passed away. A group of children, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was 6 or 8 teenagers who broke into the Calgary Olympic track, the bobsled track. Yeah, and the twin boys, they're 17, used to work there.
Okay.
And so, I mean, as teenagers do, they probably thought, well, it'll be fun. And they were both killed. They hit the fence at the bottom.
Well, they brought their own toboggan or sled, and they all climbed on it.
Yeah.
Was there drinking involved? Are they talking about that?
I haven't read that anywhere.
Maybe nothing.
Because they all flew off it.
Yeah.
All the ones that were on it. Because there was 4 other injured.
Yeah.
And those 2 died.
They hit the
twin brothers.
Twin brothers, 17. And then I think 2 fled the scene, from what I heard.
So lucky there weren't more deaths, and our hearts go out to people. They were from Calgary. They lived in Calgary.
Yeah.
Sad story.
Exactly.
Sad story. But I mean, at that age, you never think of those kinds of consequences, right? You
That's
think, well,
quite steep, though. I wouldn't
want to do it either.
Could you imagine?
No, I personally, when I was mentioning it to the kids, they were asking what bobsledding is. And I'm like, well, believe it or not, it's considered a sport, and it's just sliding down a hill. I said, but it's quite fast, and I mean, look at the accidents that happen just during the Olympics themselves.
People who are trained.
Who are trained, exactly. That's just it. So that how scary.
Poor mom and dad and family.
No, exactly. So
and my son's 17, and I mean, I have one 17-year-old. I can't imagine losing two 17-year-olds.
No, our thoughts and prayers to the family and everyone involved, for sure, and definitely, and hopefully, because wintertime can be, dangerous too.
And the Carney Memorial Hockey Tournament was this weekend,
Yes,
so
right.
I was there, and it was a wonderful thing. And
Jansen was playing hockey this weekend?
Yes, he was, and they did well considering they were short players. They had injured players. They had players that were gone to NHL games, so they were short-staffed. And the one game they had 9 players and 1 coach, and the opposition had 16 players and 4 coaches, and we lost 4-2. Wow. So, they pool together and get the grit going when they have to.
Good for them.
Yeah.
And my heart, again, to Lynn and John and Rylan Carney, who have lost their daughter, and honor her. This is the 6th memorial now, and well attended, and they have a relative sing all Canada. It was very beautifully done.
Wonderful.
Exactly, definitely. Up next, we have, we're going to take a short little break, and we're going to be bringing back our guest, Donna Gates, and she is from the Heart and Stroke Foundation for the province of New Brunswick, and we're going to be talking to her. And it's something that's maybe not everybody knows about, but something we want to share for sure. So we will be right back with more from Have a Chat. Don't go away. Donna Gates will be joining us next. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch, and we have a great show lined up for you today. We had a little and huge discussion about Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
When, if you had missed it, you're going to want a PVR or rollback.
It was fun. Just fun.
It was a
and
lot
light.
of fun, for sure.
I may or may not have had another 2 or 3 chocolates.
Yeah, there's a few missing from the bowl.
Yes.
Just putting it out there.
Hi, Donna.
Hi. We want to welcome Donna Gates, who is here, came all the way from St. John today to join us from the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Thank you, Donna, for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Hi, everybody.
We would love it if you start off telling a little bit to us and our viewers about who you are and how you became involved.
Sure. Well, I'm Vice President of Philanthropy and Communications. That's a really long title, but really it means for the Provincial Foundation. I look after all the fundraising and the communications. I'm originally from Halifax, but it's okay. I married someone from Newcastle.
There you go.
So actually just grew up over my shoulder here on Edward Street. So
Okay.
So really in the neighborhood.
I'm really in the neighborhood, and so I've been here quite a few times. I live in St. John now, as you said, and we have 2 boys, but I do come up a couple of times a year. And can I say a quick hello to my mother-in-law, Jean? Hi, Jean, who's watching as well. So I got to pop in and see her right before I came here. So. Yeah, so I come up here quite often, and of course my role takes me around the province all the time. So,
okay. Yes, this is Heart and Stroke Month, is it not?
February is Heart Month, absolutely.
Heart Month.
Yes,
Heart Month.
Exactly.
They don't say Heart and Stroke; it's just they call it Heart Month.
We do have a separate month for stroke, which is in June.
Interesting. All
yes.
right.
But of course, Valentine's Day, as you have all spoken about so eloquently, and me thinking about my answers to the question.
Yes.
Definitely, it is Heart Month with Valentine's. So
very
we do,
timely.
Yes,
that you're here.
Yes, and I appreciate the opportunity to be with you.
I will share to our brother with you if I have to.
Okay.
I won't share, Mr. Baker.
We don't share well.
So, Donna, walk us through a day in your position at your
Sure.
workplace.
Gosh, well, I think what I like most about my job is that I really have no typical one day. I mean, here I am today with all of you. Really, my role is to bring in the revenue, to bring in the fundraising for the foundation and to help tell wonderful stories of people who have been touched by heart disease and stroke, which I think is really my favorite part of my job, is to meet those people. So that really becomes, I think, when it all becomes very real to me, when I get to meet folks whose lives have been touched by heart disease and stroke. I do a lot of planning. I have a wonderful team across of other folks who help raise money across the province. Good. And we're really getting into our event season right now. We have a number of high-profile events. We have our Heart Truth Gala coming up in. I know you've been. You've been in it actually.
I got to go the year.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heart Truth Gala.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
I got to wear a handmade dress.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
And model, and the guest it was Serena Ryder.
It was Serena
the year
Ryder.
that I was in the fashion show.
Well, yes, so a couple of things there. So yes, we actually partner with graduates, alumni of the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design, the fashion design program. So they, like women like Judy, they would meet with them and create a beautiful customized red dress for each woman. It's really interesting because this is something I actually didn't know before I started this role, but heart disease is the #1 killer of women in Canada.
Yes, it is.
Incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And we think about other things that probably first.
Yeah, we
that,
do.
Yeah. But it certainly is. So that event really began as an awareness event around that, and has grown now to be a huge, not only fashion show, but awareness opportunity, as well as a concert. So
Beautiful event.
Yes. And this year we have Alan Doyle, who is
great big seat.
great big seat.
It's probably sold out again, Donna.
Oh, I don't doubt it will be, and
always a sellout.
it is, and it's a really wonderful night. And it's interesting, we haven't had a male performer before, so
yeah.
I'm very excited to see how that will go. And you know, I am originally actually from Newfoundland. I should have said that. So the Newfoundlander in me is thrilled.
We love Newfoundlanders.
Yes,
I have
yes,
Newfoundlander
yes.
friends, and they're the best.
They are the best. So he really, I think, will entertain us and put on a really wonderful show. And
For sure.
as you well know, Judy, it's just a fantastic night.
It
so
is.
encourage everybody to come. It's at the casino.
Okay, I was going to say Dayton.
It's April 30th at the casino. We choose the casino for a number of reasons. You know, number one, it's a real central place. Obviously, we draw from the entire province, and also what the artists tell us is that the acoustics and sound equipment is really fantastic.
It is fantastic.
yeah.
So you know, we bring the artist in, and as I mentioned, it is a fundraiser. It started off as an awareness event, but it is a really key fundraiser for us. So that's one of the first ones that is happening after Heart Month, and you know, I guess I should maybe even backtrack and say Heart Month is happening right now.
Yes.
So many people across this area are canvassing door to door for us. So your friends and neighbors are going to be knocking on your doors and
That's
asking
a good
for
thing. I always
support.
give.
Well, thank you. And you know, it's interesting because it's a very often a tougher time to get out. February in New Brunswick. Here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, we're going to be hunkering down again tonight.
We are.
My dear dad was one of the canvassers for that for
yes.
a long time,
Yeah.
and still is.
And you know, I think that's what really works with that particular campaign, is because for some people it's the one time you see them all year, and there's a lot of trust when your friends and neighbors come and knock on the door and tell the stories about the work our foundation is doing. And often the people that canvass have been touched by heart disease and stroke themselves, and that's the reason that they want to get out. And they're getting out and getting exercise and seeing their friends and neighbors. And so, you know, we would ask that whenever someone knocks on your door to please greet them warmly and and be generous, because it really does help fuel the the fundraising helps pay for the things that the mission we're able to make happen in New Brunswick. And all of the funds raised from that campaign actually stay in the province.
That's
a really
beautiful thing.
important message as well. Yeah.
So what kind of programs do you have? And like what? So I've just had a heart attack, and I always do that. So I've just had a heart attack. What happens now? How do I, get connected with you and get some help and all that?
Well, generally, if you are actually either had sudden cardiac arrest, and I should maybe even take a second. There's a difference between sudden cardiac arrest and a heart attack. And again, things I did not know. So sudden cardiac arrest is really when your heart just stops, and it can happen to anyone, anytime. So the best thing we can say about that is if people know CPR and they know how to do it, and one of the wonderful programs that we've been able to implement across the province and even here in Miramichi is we have a CPR in the schools program. So we're teaching young people in the schools how to do CPR. And while some people, as part of their job or their work or because they have a loved one, want to take CPR, and certainly there are kind of intensive courses that are 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever. This is really the skills. It's called hands-only CPR. Actually, I'm going to reach behind my
There's one at James and Memorial High School.
Yes.
When I go to the meetings there, I can't help but be proud that there's one installed.
Yes, so that's the AED. So that's what you're referring to, and I'm going to reach back again.
Yeah.
I don't quite get it.
There we go.
And so this is an AED. So
It's not very big.
well, this isn't one that's mounted on the wall. This is a trainer, but no, it's not very big.
Okay.
But you're used to seeing, I think, the ones mounted on the wall. So I'm going to back up because I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Okay.
Right, but,
we'll get all of it.
well, and this actually is going to lead into quite a good story about the Miramichi, I think, as well. So, so one of the things that we've been able to do as a result of the fundraising is to place an AED in every high school in New Brunswick. So there's...
That's amazing.
Yes, it is. And that is through the generosity of our donors and our corporate partners. I mean, we are really just the vessel that kind of work can happen through. So there's one of these in every rink as well, every arena.
Wow.
Very important. I mean, in the last year alone, we've had 5 people that we know have been saved as a result of an AED being present. And, this is not an operational one, but if I took it out, it would walk you through entirely what to do. It really is.
Tells you.
It tells you. It has a voice, and it can be in French and English.
Well, that's fantastic.
And it will walk you through what to do. So really, part of the message there is that no one should be afraid to use it. If you're faced with a situation, part of it would just sometimes people just get stunned and they don't know what to do,
They don't
or
react.
they're emotional
They're in
and don't know
shock.
exactly, or they're really upset. So what often helps is that obviously if someone there's had some CPR training there. So that's the AED, and I'm going to just go back to the CPR Anytime. So this is a CPR Anytime kit. I'm not really sure. There we go. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So these would be in the schools, and again, through the generosity of our corporate partners and our individual donors, these have been able to, the training has been able to be given to students and here in Newcastle and in Chatham as well. And we're doing a few more schools in the area actually this spring. So that's a really important device, and really it walks you through how to. There's an inflatable mannequin in there, and a lot of people are really reluctant if they don't want to do mouth to mouth. But this really is hands only CPR, so it teaches you the proper ways to hold your hands and the strength that you would need to do that.
Wow.
So
Mr. Big, I could probably just go ahead, but others I'd be hesitant. I'd be hesitant.
Well, no one should be hesitant because I think that part of what it is to be a good person is really just to jump in, and it's not for everybody, but you often see in those kinds of situations someone does need to take a leadership role. So. So if you have a little bit of, and we talk about this in the CPR training as well. So if you have that training, there's an AED on site. You're dramatically increasing the chance of survival for that individual. Exactly. Hard to believe that about 1,200 out-of-hospital sudden cardiac arrests take place in New Brunswick every year.
Oh, wow.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just, I think we've got a little video we can play, but essentially your best combination is when an AED is on site and someone knows how to do CPR. So I think we have a little video of a story from Miramichi.
I'm just waiting to hear from our producer when she's all set. Oh, here we go.
June 2nd of 2009, my whole life completely changed. I got a call at 1:30 in the afternoon that my dad had dropped. So I went to the hospital and he was gone. So the Bank of Nova Scotia called my mom and asked if they would be able to raise some funds to get a defibrillator put in downtown Miramichi, because if there was one at the post office, my dad would probably be standing with me right now. So they raised the money and they got the defibrillator put in the Tim Hortons downtown Miramichi.
On July 11th, 2015, my husband was in a fitness challenge here at the gym, and he felt really strong, felt very good. And when he'd completed the obstacles, he felt his heart was racing and he sat down. So he just got up to walk around a bit and felt a huge heat come over him, like a bucket of hot water had been poured over him, and thought, I have to sit down, and basically collapsed and doesn't remember anything at all from that point on. We were very lucky because there were some very extraordinary people there that day, and as soon as he started having a seizure, they recognized the signs of cardiac arrest and they started CPR. And one of his friends, Kevin, ran to get an AED that was at the Tim Hortons.
Dad was a big fan of this one downtown, so he was in there probably 3 or 4 days a week, and I used to go in there and bring him coffee on my days off. So they raised the money and they placed a plaque above the defibrillator in memory of my dad.
The quick actions of these people and the AED saved him, and he is completely normal, no brain damage, and we're very grateful to have him today.
As with our AED program, we're now seeing lives saved with telestroke. Our foundation was instrumental in implementing Canada's first province-wide telestroke system. Telestroke uses telecommunications technology to link 10 hospitals in New Brunswick to neurologists who are on call 24/7. This technology means that every New Brunswicker now has equal access to a drug that can actually reverse the effects or lessen the impact of many strokes.
Well, that looked like it was a very informative. Unfortunately, we didn't get ourselves to hear exactly what was said. So, Donna, if you could tell us a little bit about that section of the video that was just seen. Now, that was Caitlin O'Kane.
Oh, so
yeah, I've watched it myself at home.
Yeah, they did hear it at home, but we didn't hear it on set.
Okay.
So, but if you could just tell us a little bit.
Of course, and I think that example is really one of the most powerful ones you can imagine, because it has so many different components, right? It has Kaylin, who was obviously very touched, and her dad's outcome was not what we want, but she took that and made something really positive out of it. So she was able to work with her family and also the local Scotiabank to raise the money to put the AED in the Tim Hortons. And Tim Hortons is actually not a common location for an AED, but it makes so much sense, doesn't it?
No, it's central.
Doesn't it make sense?
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense? And it's where she wanted to put it because her father spent so much time there, is what she spoke to on the video. And also, of course, Eugene and Danielle. So Eugene was, his gym is near the Tim Hortons, and they were doing kind of an obstacle race outside of, in the parking lot at his gym, and a number of people were there. And he obviously had sudden cardiac arrest as well. And so because they knew the AED was at the Tim Hortons, and because he was with folks who knew CPR, his outcome was very positive. Exactly. And so you have all those wonderful components together, and now Eugene and Danielle want to give back as well. That's what they wanted. They wanted to go and meet the folks who had been there to help them, and that was just last July.
Yeah, and I know all of these people, so this is just me personally because I'm friends with them all.
Of course. And I used to work out at the same gym and know quite a few of them. And
what a good story.
I remember watching the story right after unfold on Facebook in the group because they were trying to keep everyone calm that had been through the event, and so it was quite amazing to see it all unfold after.
Yeah, and for Kaylin to be so strong and, like you said, take that slant towards an upward turn of events and place them where they're needing to be, and that's what she's like, though. She was very, very close to her dad too, so her heart was broken.
Now, with these machines here, is there a place like, do you have website or a Facebook page that I'd be able to see in my area, where are they exactly?
Well, we keep a list of them, but essentially they're in every rink and every high school in the province. And you know, the other thing that is wonderful about the AEDs and where they're placed, and folks place AEDs on their own as well. You know,
yes,
you can.
Church has one.
You can. You can.
Because they're expensive.
They are. They're about $1,600. With our program, what is wonderful about it is that we actually go to the location and we will. And the we is generally someone from Ambulance New Brunswick will go in and take a look at where the optimal place to place it is, because, you know, a lot of people may think they know where to put it, but it really has to be in a very central location.
For sure.
People have to know it's there. There's training that's provided on site. And I think one of the most wonderful things is that it's actually integrated into the 911 system.
Good.
So if someone calls from that location, the 911 operator should be able to say, actually, there's an AED in that facility, or there's an AED across the street from you.
Yes.
So,
very well established.
Right.
And the training's necessary, and that makes me want to renew mine because I have CPR training, but now it's time to do it up again.
It is. The guidelines do change, and it's like any other skill. You know, we take tests to keep up, you know, we have to drive and all kinds of tests, but I think you know, it's really important that we keep that skill up, and I think broader still know many different things related to first aid as well. So CPR is a very, very important one, and we have an ambitious goal that we'd like everyone in the province to learn CPR.
Yes.
So, and again, that's why we're doing it through the schools,
Right.
because the students are keen to learn, and we're also giving them an opportunity to learn a skill and bring something to them. There's no travel
We're
involved.
going to take another short break. We'll be right back
Okay.
with more from Donna Gates here at Have a Chat, so don't go away. We'll have more. Welcome back to Have a Chat. We've been having a great discussion with our guest, Donna Gates, who's here from St. John, from the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and she's been giving us a lot of great information on exactly what the foundation does for the province, and specifically from the last video, what has been going on here in Miramichi with the machines that was installed at the Tim Hortons. Tell us a little bit more about the women's issues with health. You know, health themselves.
Like for me as a woman, and us three, like if you were saying it's #1 killer, heart disease of women, we are women that want to prevent that from happening. So the health and wellness aspect, if you could touch on that.
Sure.
Part of it.
I think it's so interesting, and I, you know, feel this in my own life, is that sometimes as women we put ourselves last, and I think we can all do that. You know, trying to balance careers and family and all that. But like I said, it is the #1 killer of Canadian women, of New Brunswick women. So I think there's a lot of contributing factors. I mean, smoking would be the first really would come to mind. It's a terrible thing. Don't smoke. Just stop.
No, I've
just
never
stop.
smoked, and I'm glad. That's one thing I feel good about my lungs.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
I know.
I get that it's tough. I get that it's tough to quit, but it really is important.
Yes.
It is such a contributing risk factor, not only to cardiovascular disease, but also to stroke. And so if we can just stop, and you know, we've made great strides. I think in the 60s, mid-60s, 50% of New Brunswickers would have smoked. Amazing, eh?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, now we're about under 20. So if you think about how our society has changed really in those years, I remember you watch a movie from the 80s, people are smoking, and it's so
in the office, in the car,
in the newsroom.
It's, you know, it happens socially. Socially
at work.
Been in at a cocktail party.
At work.
I know. Look good.
You know, so that's actually something that's really been, I think, a significant societal change. So so that's an important thing not to do. I mean, you know what I'm going to say. We should all work out more. We should all exercise.
Eat right.
I you know,
yes,
guilty
we
of
should.
Everything in chocolate. I will have one after. I will have one. Everything in moderation. No, I mean, we all have to live, right? We all have to live.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
No, moderation's key.
Moderation is key, and I think just physical activity is important, and our lifestyles are really more, you know, in front of computers, in front of screens. You know, our kids as well. We have a very high obesity rate of children in New Brunswick and in the country. 1 in 3 Canadian children are obese.
1 in 3 in Canada.
1 in 3. About 28% of New Brunswick children are obese.
Well, it seems like we hear a little bit more of younger, whether it's youth or younger adults, having these issues with heart and stroke.
That's true.
And it just,
you know, and diabetes is becoming such an, you know, more prevalent in our society every day. So I think, you know, what can we be doing? We can, you know, be watching our blood pressure. High blood pressure is also leading risk factor for heart disease and stroke as well. So get your blood pressure checked. Talk to your doctor. Get, you know, I think as women we're always making the appointments for everybody else.
Yeah,
put yourself on that. yeah. And I'm guilty of this too. Yeah, I'm
well, when you
guilty
go
of
to
this.
your doctor and you have these health issues or you've had an incident, when does it that your organization becomes involved with that patient?
Generally, we don't really become involved with the patient per se. I mean, that would really, if someone was to have a major cardiac issue, they would follow kind of the healthcare system, right? And there's lots of wonderful programs. You know, our provincial heart center, as you know, is located in St. John. We were actually part of the group that really advocated for that and provided the funding. That would have been back in 1991. So we're very lucky. We have excellent care in our province.
You do.
And you know, here in Miramichi as well, but we do have a centralized heart center. But I think people usually get connected to us afterwards. They usually, you know, and Kaylin and Eugene and Danielle, pardon me, are really great examples of that because if they want to fundraise, if they want to have a memorial walk, if they want to do something in memory of someone or to celebrate being saved, that's generally when we get involved. Now, for me, in my role, we do have a health promotion team as well in our office. We have folks that go around and teach CPR in the schools. We also have a stroke conference provincial stroke conference that we host every year that's coming up in May. Again, I talked about our next few months being very, very busy. This is another thing.
A busy woman.
Well, we all are, I think. And I have a wonderful group of colleagues that make this all happen. And so we have an annual stroke conference for medical professionals. Really, really amazingly done program. It travels across the province, and this year we're having it in St. John. So we try to bring the awareness pieces and also raise money. I mean, again, my job is to raise money. Yeah.
But Donna, let's just face it, you have made such an impact on my husband and I personally that it was fun and wonderful to be part of the fashion show in St. John at the gala. But the bottom line for us was what that did for us to bring awareness to the fact that it's such an important one, the Heart and Stroke Foundation, what you're doing. And that's why we felt that we wanted to put that telestroke in place at the Region 7 Hospital because that's how strong it hit home.
Right.
And to try to save others that might benefit from it. So it could be any one of us. It doesn't. You can be young having a stroke or a heart condition. It doesn't have to be an elderly person that's out of shape. It can be a young woman, right? A heavy smoker, diabetic, or just for example.
Yeah, I think, and maybe I'll just explain what telestroke is for everybody who maybe doesn't know. So, and the wonderful role the Lozier family had in making it happen here in Miramichi. So, essentially, what we've done is be able to place 10 telestroke units across the province in 10 hospitals. And essentially, if someone is is exhibiting the signs and symptoms of a stroke, and I'll maybe talk about that in just a second, what to look for. It's a very New Brunswick thing, as I've come to understand, is that people just ignore it or take an aspirin and go to bed. It's really important to remember a stroke is a medical emergency and you need to get to a hospital. And with every second that you wait, your brain cells are dying because you know it's about the oxygen is really
being depleted.
Yes, it's about cutting off the blood flow of oxygen to the brain. So. What happened is, as a result of generous donors like the Lozier family and also some hospital foundations across the province and other groups, we were able to place these machines. So if someone here in Miramichi is feeling like, gosh, something's off. So maybe their face is drooping,
slurring,
speech or maybe even inability to talk.
Yes.
Not able to lift their arms is another common symptom. So if they're feeling like that's happening, so important, call 911. And I just want to reiterate that. So we try to educate folks with an acronym called FAST. So F for face, so your face is drooping. A for arms, I can't lift my arms. S for speech, again slurred or even unable to speak. And the T is for time. Again, medical emergency.
Essential.
Essentially.
Yes.
Time is brain. That's a phrase that a lot of folks that work in the stroke world say.
I think they always worry that, oh, I'll get to the hospital and they'll tell me there's nothing wrong.
Right, right. Or I don't want to bother anyone.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to think if I felt a little bit off, I'd be in the car and getting someone to drive me or an ambulance.
I
because
mean,
I'd be terrified.
better safe than sorry.
Well, you're referring to yourself if you feel those symptoms, but I have a friend of mine, and she was going through the checkout with her mother.
Yes.
And her mother's experiencing these symptoms, and she's questioning her mother, wants to call 911, but the mother doesn't.
No.
Non-compliant.
She's fine. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize she's acting and behaving this way. And it's not until she gets her mother home that she's like, no, and because time, like you said, was making a huge difference in her ability to do those things. And she had to call the ambulance. And I mean, she's fine, but still, the person themselves experiencing it, I'm assuming they have a sense that there's nothing wrong with them.
I would be just the opposite. I'd be getting me an ambulance now. No, I would be. If I felt my arm moving and my speech up, I would say there's something really wrong.
Yeah.
Call 911.
I think you do know, and I think it's like anything. I think everyone's experience is slightly different. So, but you know, good for that family to kind of say, you know what, you do
override
know.
your mother.
Yeah,
Override your mother.
You have to do it occasionally.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think what's key here is that you get to the hospital and before Telestroke was in place, we didn't have a neurologist on call 24/7 in the province as well. So that was another piece in implementing the whole provincial Telestroke network. And I should say that New Brunswick was a leader here because New Brunswick implemented the first province-wide Telestroke network in the country.
Fantastic.
So wonderful leadership of everyone involved. And so if you're going to the hospital here in Miramichi, you can talk to a neurologist who's on call somewhere else, and that neurologist might be in his or her living room, right? It may not even be at another hospital, because essentially the Telestroke equipment, again, that the Lozier family was so generous to provide to the hospital here, really is very sophisticated video conferencing, so that the doctor can say, so the attending physician here and the patient are on one end, and the neurologist is on the other, and they're asking questions like, talk about your symptoms, and also doing a few tests. Can you touch your nose? Can you lift your legs?
So they visually see.
They can see.
They walk the doctor right through it. That's on call in the emergency department.
And also the patient, if they've had any kind of diagnostic imaging done of the brain, the physician who's on the other side in another location can actually read the scans as well.
So they have instant access.
This is one of the technology's changed our lives. Of course, we all know that, and this is one of the ways that we've been able to connect all these sites together. Which in a province that has some, we have a lot of urban and rural together, so that's very, very important.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so people's lives are being able to be changed, because you want to make sure there's an option. If the doctor or physician together, the team determines that the person is having a stroke, then there's certain medications and certain therapies that have to be done right away. And again, the quicker that they're administered,
of course,
the better.
Really it can make the difference between a full recovery and being in a nursing home.
So we've really seen results
huge.
locally. I know my husband's very excited because he's had reports that it's actually been beneficial to someone that's come in with a stroke. And that makes me feel so good too, to say, thank gosh that we did what we did and could do what we did.
Right, and that's so true, and we are starting to hear stories about that now.
Happy endings.
Happy endings, and again, that awareness piece. So once the Telestroke piece was in place, we really wanted to create an awareness campaign around that FAST acronym that I mentioned before. Face, arm, speech, time. FAST. Feet en français. Of course, we do everything in both official languages in New Brunswick, which is really important because we are a provincial foundation, so we want to make sure that everything we do is in both official languages. So last year, I mentioned earlier, we started Stroke Month was in June. So last June, we had a print and a social media and a television campaign that we were able to do because of our generous sponsors, and bring those messages to thousands of New Brunswickers. So,
oh my gosh, I'm proud to hear all that's going on with the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
I remember the commercial, the television commercial.
Now that I say it, something pops in your brain.
She's talking to her husband.
Exactly right.
And she says, "Well, can't you lift your arms?" And he thinks he's fine.
Right. They're just having a meal.
To
or
your
something.
point,
they're in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. And I think that that learning tool has really stuck with people, and the folks that are